make sure my... Yeah, there we go. Making sure that everything is ship shape and working. So here we go with another episode of RCW. This is episode 7. We are just 2 episodes away, or 3 if you count the pay-per-view, but 2 regular episodes away from the first pay-per-view, which is RCW Turmoil. So a bunch of matches have been already made for that pay-per-view, including Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match for Seth Rollins' RCW Carnage title. Also, a match was made official for the women's title. It will be Luna Outlaw getting a shot to regain her RCW women's title. But however, Noelle Diamond has been a thorn in Luna Outlaw's side, so to speak, and with her aligning herself with Tessa Blanchard and Xia Brookside, it's tough to know. So she had talked to me about that and talked to me about her match, and she had said this. She said that, well, I guarantee that Noelle Diamond is going to have Tessa Blanchard at ringside, so I should have my own too to make it evened out. And she will have one of her relatives. Either it'll be Jason, Brian, or Sky. I doubt it's going to be Brian, considering what has been happening. So we'll have to see who she chooses to be at ringside with her to even the odds there. But we still have plenty of title matches to be made, plenty of matches to be made. We'll see exactly how this evens out, and yeah. Let's get this one started here as we have Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Start this one off. What a great way to start RCW off here. With the RCW Carnage Champion, and he is ready to burn the whole damn place down. Now, ever since Seth Rollins won the title, he has made it clear that he wants to be in action. He wants to be a fighting champion. He wants to show up as much as he can, if not every episode of RCW. Not that we had a problem with that in the past with previous RCW Carnage champions, but, I love the dedication of Seth Rollins ever since he has gained the RCW Carnage title, and he looks to retain that when he takes on Randy Orton and the best in the world, CM Punk, at RCW Turmoil. But that is RCW Turmoil. This is RCW episode 7 of season 5. So let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. But Seth Rollins looks more ready than ever to face the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Shinsuke Nakamura, a former RCW Carnage champion in his own right when he pinned none other than Brian Outlaw to gain that title. I can imagine a win here might get him a future title opportunity. Like I said, I've said this numerous times before. Title matches aren't final, which means until we get to episode 10, which is the RCW Turmoil pay-per-view, until we get to that, matches are still being made, matches are still being edited, booked, and whatever for RCW Turmoil. So this could possibly end up being a fatal 4-way match if Shinsuke Nakamura comes out with the victory. Who knows? You know, like I said, not every match is booked final. There's still plenty of things that can happen between this episode, episode 7, episode 8, and episode 9. So, you know, still many of opportunities to be taken advantage of here. And Shinsuke looks to spoil the champ here. Remember, this is a non-title match. So Shinsuke and Seth Rollins don't have anything to worry about, but Shinsuke is starting off with a knee right to the midsection, taking down the Carnage Champion, but a dragon screw taking down Shinsuke, and Shinsuke with a shoulder tackle of his own here. And Shinsuke stomping away on the champion. Looking to possibly get the champion to submit here early on, as he's got Seth Rollins trapped in this hold for quite some time here. Seth Rollins in a little bit of trouble here, trying to get out of this hold, and he does. And an enziguri there to the King of Strong Style. Irish whip to the corner. It's back facing the corner, but Shinsuke with an elbow right to the face and a big punch right to the face of Seth Rollins. I'm going to kick to the groin there. Referee might want to check on Seth Rollins after that. But Seth Rollins with the jawbreaker. Seth Rollins firing back. And a snap suplex by the Carnage Champion Seth Rollins. Standing shooting star there by Seth Rollins, or standing moonsault. One of the two. One of the two, same thing. Pretty much. Oh, Seth Rollins with a stand suplex right back in the ring here to Shinsuke Nakamura, but Shinsuke firing back with an uppercut. And now Shinsuke taking down Seth Rollins. Now, with a pin here on Seth Rollins and just a simple 1 count here, as there's still plenty of fight left in the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins. Now Seth Rollins going for a cover of his own, and Shinsuke with the kick out at even before one, and a knee right to the what appeared to be the face or the throat of Shinsuke there. Couldn't quite tell from the angle, but got the job done there. Irish whip into the ropes. Leapfrog over. Ooh, and a neck breaker there from Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins with another knee to the throat of Shinsuke Nakamura. And now Shinsuke in a heap of trouble here. Irish whip to the corner now. And a big forearm to the face of Shinsuke Nakamura. And Seth Rollins trying to pump himself up. Don't want to waste any time though as Shinsuke. But Shinsuke got out of it with a couple of elbows to the side of the head and a kick right to the midsection and some type of knee there. Not Kinshasa there though. Fortunately for Seth Rollins. Ooh, and Shinsuke with a powerbomb. I don't think I've ever seen Shinsuke do that. I'm gonna say there, I've watched Shinsuke for a long time, and I have never seen him do that. Now working on the arm of Seth Rollins now. Just trying to weaken Seth Rollins. Now lifting him up here. Lifting him up. Ooh, slamming him down to the mat here. Oh, Shinsuke taking off of the turnbuckle. Shinsuke taking off the turnbuckle here. And now looking for the Kinshasa here on Seth Rollins, but no. No Kinshasa today for Seth. And a kick to the midsection now. Shinsuke finds himself in the ropes here, and now using the ropes as a way to damage the Shinsuke Nakamura. And now another knee from Seth Rollins. Ooh, but Shinsuke firing back. Lifting him up on the top rope, but Seth Rollins says, no, you're not doing that today. Minoru Nuku driver there. Looking to pin Shinsuke Nakamura, but where's the ref? The referee was too busy fixing that turnbuckle there. I was wondering what the ref was doing there. He was busy fixing the turnbuckle that Shinsuke had ripped off. Ooh, now looking for possibly a buckle bomb here on Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's what happens there. Buckle bomb to Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, what's Seth Rollins going for here? Seth Rollins looking for a super kick, connecting right on the face of Shinsuke Nakamura. Now dragging him to the middle of the ring now. Trying to pump himself up, get himself ready for what appears to be the knee, but Shinsuke got himself out of it. He looked for that slam again. Enziguri. Looking to call Shinsuke back to his feet here. Oh, now throwing caution to the wind, and Seth Rollins paid for it. And now Shinsuke's taking advantage of that bad decision by Seth Rollins and slamming him down right on the outside. Now the outside floor isn't as forgiving as the ring is. But now Seth Rollins, what's he going for here? Thinks twice about diving off the top rope here. Now Shinsuke putting him in the tree of woe here. Backstabber. To Seth Rollins now a stomp. And now Seth with a rope break. Seth with a rope break. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Seth had his foot on the rope. Oh, what? Seth Rollins clearly had his foot on the rope. That's not going down like that. Not going down like that. This match should be restarted because Seth Rollins clearly had his foot on the rope. We are not letting it go down like that. Seth Rollins clearly having his foot on the rope should have been a rope break. And this match has been restarted due to the faultiness of the official. Seth Rollins clearly having his foot on the rope, but the referee did not see it. And now Seth Rollins with a suplex into the ring, and now Seth Rollins looking for a quick cover here on Shinsuke. Only gets a 1 count. Ooh, but Shinsuke gets right back to his feet and a punch right to the midsection. And now a knee right to the ribs of Seth Rollins. Now Shinsuke working on the arm once again. Now I imagine both of these men are tired now because they just had a match. Just had a match that had to forcefully be restarted due to the rope break that was going unnoticed by the referee. And another suplex back into the ring as Seth Rollins going after the back of Shinsuke, and a jawbreaker there by Shinsuke, and another kick right to the ribs of Seth Rollins. And that's been injured in the past, so good on Shinsuke for going after a previous injured area, and another knee to the ribs of Seth Rollins. Ooh, Bus would look for a cutter there, but a sling blade to Shinsuke. Now trying to lift up Shinsuke, but another jawbreaker from Shinsuke, and an elbow, and another elbow, and a trifecta from Shinsuke. And Shinsuke lifting up Seth Rollins here. Now using the ropes to his advantage. Completely legal in this match. Now throwing him to the apron. Ooh, tried to get him to go to the outside, but Seth Rollins wants none of it. And Seth Rollins with a big knee right back into the ring. Now going for a cover now. 1. Almost a 2 count. Almost a 2 count there, but Shinsuke kicked out at 1. Ooh, a quick reversal there. Quick reversal. I think Seth Rollins caught him into a super kick. And now again going for the pin. 1. No. Still just a 1 count. Seth Rollins looking to pull out all the stops here. Make sure that there is no rope break issues. Looking to lift up Shinsuke, and again with a jawbreaker. Sorry guys, I had I'm always getting these weird phone calls from my area code, these robocalls, whatever, so I don't even answer them anymore. Don't even answer any numbers that I don't know. It's Seth Rollins going for a buckle bomb on Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke is down for the time being. Shinsuke trying to use the ropes to get back to a vertical base, but Seth Rollins catching him and with a knee right to the face. Knee right to the face, but Shinsuke firing back. No, Seth Rollins says no. A kick to the midsection. Looking for another super kick and connecting with that super kick right there. Dragging him to the middle of the ropes. Perfect decision by Seth Rollins. Lifted him up. Oh no. We're going to go for the curb stomp. Right on Shinsuke Nakamura, and that might be all she wrote on this one. 1, 2, no! Shinsuke kicked out at 2.5. And Seth Rollins really pissed with himself there, but Shinsuke now firing back. Shinsuke now firing back now. Lifting him up here. Throwing his back into the ring post. Uh-oh, now taking off that turnbuckle. Irish whip into the corner. And a big knee right to the midsection. And more stomps to the midsection. And an alley-oop bomb to Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke battling back now. Working on the arm again, pulling the arm of the RCW Carnage Champion, and Seth Rollins. What veteran move from Seth Rollins, rolling out. But Shinsuke's right there to meet him, taking him down, and the referee begins the count. I'm pretty sure Shinsuke's perfectly fine with winning this via countout, but I guess he does not want to win this by countout. Seth Rollins in huge trouble here, and Seth Rollins gets taken down by Shinsuke. Rolling him away. A rope break isn't going to save Seth Rollins here, but he kicks out anyway. Looking for a Kinshasa here on Seth Rollins. Kinshasa on Seth Rollins. 1, 2. Seth kicked out at 2.5. And Seth is still there. But now Shinsuke going for a submission. Going for a submission right away. That's what I would have done there. But Seth Rollins able to get out of that. Miranouku driver on Shinsuke Nakamura. But the referee again fixing the turnbuckle. And Seth Rollins realizing it and letting go. Referee taking his sweet time fixing that turnbuckle. Now stomping away. Oh, but Shinsuke gets right back up, and an elbow, a chop, another elbow, and a kick right to the midsection. And again using the ropes to his advantage here. Perfectly legal there as Shinsuke rolls out of the way. DDT from Seth Rollins to Shinsuke. Now calling Shinsuke up to his feet here. Going for that super kick again, and that time he busted Shinsuke wide open from that super kick. Oh, possibly looking to go for that knee. Or possibly a curb stomp. And another curb stomp from Seth Rollins. 1, 2. No! Shinsuke kicked out again. What's it gonna take? Oh, but Seth Rollins with a big knee to Shinsuke. That might be enough. 1, 2, 3. And Seth Rollins is victorious. We had to restart the match due to a thing that should have been a rope break there. But Seth Rollins is victorious here in this matchup. Oh no, but CM Punk, his opponent, one of his opponents, I should say, at the Turmoil pay-per-view, he is out here attacking Seth Rollins after the match. Trying to prove something to Seth Rollins in the signature elbow drop there from the best in the world. Now looking for GTS. Looking for a go to sleep on Seth Rollins. Oh, but CM Punk, I don't know why he didn't go for that. Just throwing Seth Rollins shoulder first into the ring post. Possibly causing as much damage as he can, and a leg drop right to the back of the neck. And CM Punk proving a message here against the Carnage Champion. But we will see both of these men in the ring at Turmoil when Seth Rollins puts his title on the line against CM Punk, the best in the world, and the Viper, Randy Orton. Now our next match up here is Max Mercury versus the top 1% in EC3 and his tag team partner AJ Styles is in his corner now. Max and AJ, they were victorious over the tag team champions, the White Dragons, last episode. So very good on them. Good on them for that. Good on them for that, as, like I said last episode, Max does not work well with others, and I was very surprised at their victory there, considering Max's attitude, and not that it's a bad attitude, because some people just like doing things by themselves, and they'd rather focus on their singles careers, but I don't know, maybe something clicked within Max and AJ, and they're just like, well, let's team up together, so I don't know. I don't know what this means for the tag team title match going forward. I don't know if they are going to battle for the tag team titles or not, but there he is, Max and Maniacal Mercury coming out with AJ Styles in his corner. There you go. Now the lights come on. And there is AJ Styles in his hoodie there. And Max awaits the top 1% in EC3 as he faces this man, EC3 here. And you can see him here singing his own theme song. But singing your own theme song don't get you championship opportunities here in RCW. Winning matches does, as we are underway. And AJ, as you can see, watching Max hammer away here on EC3 to start this one off. Now an Irish whip to the corner. And a big clothesline there from Max. Ooh, and a huge neck breaker to EC3, but EC3 firing back. EC3 with a kick to the chest. Now stomping on the arm of the Maniacal. And an elbow drop right to the chest of Max. Ooh, and a kick right to the face from EC3, but Max turns it around. Max turning EC3 around. Irish whip into the ropes. Duck under. And a hip toss there. Almost an arm drag, but EC3 looking to catch him here. 1, 2. And Max lucked out there as EC3 almost caught Max for a very quick victory. I believe Max is still undefeated here in RCW. I don't think he's ever lost yet. Ooh, EC3 tried to roll out, but Max caught him in some type of accolade hold here. What's up, Awesome 2000, bro? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're in a huge neck breaker here by Max. Max lifting up EC3. Ooh, but a reversal there from the top 1% in EC3 and an Irish whip to the corner from EC3. Oh, looking for the splash in the corner, but unable to connect. As Max easily getting out of the way of that. But a reversal from EC3. Now EC3, neck breaker of his own. To Max, and a big knee. Look to appear from the chest, I guess. And another neck breaker to Max here. And EC3 definitely taking it to Max right now, as Max not used to being down on the mat. Max getting right back up in a leg drop as AJ, his tag team partner, I don't even know if they are officially a tag team or if, you know, he just happens to be out here because of what happened last episode when they took on the White Dragons, the tag team champions, and ended up beating them. I don't know if they're like an official tag team or anything like that, so. Ooh, now driving the head of Max into the mat here. And EC3 just standing there. I don't know if he's taking a breather or what he's doing, but he's allowing Max to get up to his feet. Bad mistake there. But throws Max down anyway, looking for top 1% here on Max. This could spell bad if EC3 connects with it. Mad Max on EC3. 1, 2, and EC3 easily kicking out of that one. But remind you, Max has that Max driver that he used on Chris Danger numerous times. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. Perfect angle and Max driver on EC3. 1, 2. No, EC3 kicking out at 2.5. EC3 proving to be very dominant here against Max. I've never seen virtually anybody kick out of the Max driver before. At least back when Max was on the Indies. Exploder suplex from EC3. Now EC3 might be fired up here. And a chop right to the chest. Hopefully that vest protects him. And a roll up here. Trying to get Max to go down. And Max with a kick out at 2. EC3 again almost getting Max here. And a kick right to the midsection. Ooh, and EC3 getting out of whatever Max was going for there. And I think EC3 just hit top 1% again. And a neck breaker again to EC3. And EC3 proving his worth here against Max. And that punch right to the face busted EC3 open. As you could see, the blood draining down from the forehead of EC3 here. I don't know what Max is going to do. What's Max looking to do? But EC3 ducked out of the way. Whatever Max was going for there, EC3 ducked right out of the way there. Oh, looking for the step up Insaguri here. On EC3, and a kick right to the side of the head. On EC3, a little bit of close to the ropes there too. And EC3 kicked out again. And Max, as you can tell by his facial expression, he can't believe it. Dragging him to the middle of the rope, probably very wise, or middle of the ring, sorry, very wise of Max there. Max looking for another Max driver here on EC3. Max driver once more. And even the ref didn't want to look at that. 1, 2, 3. And Max gets the victory over EC3. But EC3 definitely proving his worth against Max here. And I apologize if I don't get to your messages right away. It's kind of hard to, especially with this game, having to commentate the matches and have to see what's going on. So I apologize if I don't get to your messages right away, or if you message and I don't get to it right away or anything like that. So I apologize. It's just that when there's a lot going on in a game, it's kind of hard to just casually look over at the screen for chat, so I apologize for that. A lot of you that have been here before know that there's a lot of stuff going on screen that I have to keep track of. So, but we have Luna Outlaw facing the returning Violet Knight after some time away from the ring. She had some issues to deal with back home in England, so she is back here on RCW, as she was in a match with Luna Outlaw before. It was the triple threat match with Noelle Diamond, Violet Knight, and Luna Outlaw herself for the RCW Women's title, excuse me. And unfortunately, both women ended up coming up short, with Luna Outlaw being the champion walking in, but not being the champion walking out. So Luna Outlaw looks to get a win, get herself back in the win column, and possibly back in the title picture, which she already is. She has her shot at Noelle Diamond one-on-one, like I mentioned. And we'll just have to see who she chooses to be at ringside in her corner to even things out, as Noelle Diamond will have Tessa Blanchard in her corner at ringside. And we know how much Tessa can get involved in matches. But Luna Outlaw definitely looking to have somebody in her corner to even things out in that match. We will just have to wait and see. So in total right now, we have the Carnage Championship match. We have the women's title match. So we have only two matches booked. And we have 4 titles. So we still have the World Championship match to book. We still have the Tag Team Championship match to book. And possibly we can get a full card, which is 7 matches. You know, I never look to book all 7 matches. Sometimes I can get... I'd like for there to be more than just 4 title matches. So I like there to be probably 5 to 6 matches minimum on the card. Because I like to have matches that are other than the... Oh yeah, never mind. We have the Chris Danger versus Brian Outlaw match as well. I keep forgetting about that. As Jason wants his brother to come back. He wants Chris Danger to snap some sense into Brian Outlaw as he made a decision to turn on his entire family. And unfortunately, that is spelled bad for Brian Outlaw and his family. So Chris Danger asked, or Jason, I should say, asked Chris Danger to possibly snap some sense into Brian Outlaw. As if you guys don't remember, it was Chris Danger that beat Brian Outlaw in their no holds barred match after, in that Turmoil or Riot pay-per-view, which put Brian Outlaw on the shelf for some time with bruised ribs. And I think that humbled Brian. I honestly think that, you know, Brian doesn't like to lose, but, you know, with somebody as cocky as Brian is, you know, at some point, you know how bullies are. You know, when somebody puts them in their place, they're not really, they're not as keen to go after that person again. So I wouldn't call Brian Outlaw a bully, per se. I wouldn't call him a bully. I would just basically call him a narcissist. I mean, he cares about his family, but at the same time, you know, when he's in that ring by himself and his family isn't near him or anything like that, even if they might be backstage, it's all about him. And I think at some point, he finally snapped against Jason, and as you saw in previous episodes, he snapped against Jason, and that caused him to, I don't know, turn a new leaf. I don't even know how to describe it. That caused him to not want to be a part of the Outlaws anymore. You know, he's his own person now. I don't even know how to describe it, but he is his own person, as Luna Outlaw looking to take it to Violet Knight here. But, you know, despite the Outlaws being a family, they still have their own goals in mind, and I think Brian Outlaw just had his own goals. And I think that maybe possibly he felt like Jason was holding him back. And when it comes to the Outlaws, they don't care if it's their family or if it's somebody that they work with or whatever. If somebody is holding them back, they're willing to get rid of that said person. So Luna Outlaw cracking her knuckles as Violet Knight makes her way back into the ring and a big slap to the face. And Luna Outlaw just sitting down and enjoying herself. I'll definitely have to get a picture of that there, as I can't take a screenshot of that right now because it's during the match, but I would definitely love to get a picture of that. And a big lariat there, turning Violet inside out. And a 1 count. But like I said, Brian is, I don't know, I've never seen that side of him before, so we'll just have to wait and see. I honestly, I'm wondering what is Jason's thinking behind having Chris Danger battle him again. What's up, Zenix? Good to see you in stream once again. I know that sometimes you lurk, and it's great to see you again. When is your next stream, by the way? I'd like to know. I think you have a schedule, I'm pretty sure, and I'm just being stupid and not looking at it, but I'm wondering when yours is. Not that I'm like skipping or anything like that, because I always try to be there. Always try to show my support for everybody, and the streaming will be tonight and tomorrow night. Usually my schedule is Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays. I have been fabulous, Zenix. I had an emotional night in a good way with Tony last night. I'm pretty sure you know him, the real fat Tony. Because he was playing Fortnite, and I think he was playing Dauntless as well. And it was last night and this morning, because I was up for his entire stream, probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning this morning. You know, because literally I'm staying up late just because of other people streaming. And, you know, if I can sleep in until noon, it doesn't matter how much I stay up. You know, if I have nowhere to be, I don't really care about not sleeping. But he was talking about, you know, just really how Twitch has changed everyone's lives in terms of the Avenger friends, and you know how people like to give the internet a bad rep in terms of finding communities and finding something to be a part of, and whereas, you know, in the real world, like IRL, there are a lot of, you know, really messed up people, not the word that he used, but, you know, really messed up people in the world that, you know, do really terrible things to people, and, you know, and how everyone in the sense wants to be accepted and wants to be a part of something, and how, like, the Avenger friends and, you know, just Twitch in general has helped so many people feel that way. And, you know, it was a real emotional night because it was obviously Father's Day, and you know, everybody was talking about, you know, their dads or whether or not they've passed away or whatever, and just how much the Avenger friends has seemed like a family to them when they don't necessarily have the best family, or they don't necessarily have the best relationship with their IRL family, and how, like, the Avenger friends has become like a second family to them, or an actual family to them, and how, like, streaming is an escape for some people, and, you know, it was basically all about, like, you know, positivity, and how, like, the community has just helped out so many people, including myself and many other people. And we were just talking about, like, how a lot of parents, and a lot of, you know, especially grandparents, you know, especially grandparents and the older folk in our family, where, you know, they didn't grow up with internet, they didn't grow up with smartphones, and, you know, social media, how social media and Twitter and Facebook and all that, you know, gets a bad rep because people like to use it to bully people, and people like to use it to hurt people rather than make people come together. And I feel like Twitch is one of those things where, and see, the thing that I like about Twitch over, like, Facebook and Twitter is, you know, Twitter is great. I think Twitter is amazing. I prefer to use it over Facebook because my friends, I hate to diss any of my, like, IRL friends, but most of them are idiots, and they like to start drama on Facebook, and it's just very discouraging, and I don't like scrolling through the feed and seeing BS all the time. So like, you know, like I'm still friends with them, but I unfollow them, which means I can't see their posts, you know, because I don't like seeing that stuff. Like, it's not, the internet is not a place to start crap with people. I just think it's a waste of time. And with that being said, and with Twitch and everything that has gone on, I feel like Twitch is one of those more controlled platforms, which means, like, you know, there's mods and you can ban people. You can, you know, it's easier to find your people, you know what I'm saying? It seems like, you know, not just Avenger friends, but, you know, just with anything. Like, it seems like, you know, all the people that I've met on Twitch, even those who aren't a part of Avenger friends, like, they are just super chill people, and they're just people playing a video game. Literally. Not to diss any of you, but that's exactly what we are. We're just people enjoying video games and what we are doing and enjoying playing video games together. And it was Tony that was talking about, like, how he's met Slev in real life. How, I believe, Disease Dan started out as a friend of his on Xbox, and then they met in real life. Which is, you know, which a lot of parents like to think that's a scary thing because, you know, of, you know, there being, you know, just really nasty people and weird people out there. There's Violet somehow using Blackout here on Luna to get behind her, but, you know, it's I don't know, but I think it's kind of self-regulating thing. Well, yeah, you know, that's what I meant. I guess that was the wrong terminology to use. I was looking for the right terminology to use, but yeah, I would say that it is a very self-regulating thing where, you know, you don't necessarily, like, yes, you have to worry about trolls and stuff, but you have those people that that are willing to help you with that, you know what I mean? Whereas with Twitter, you know, I can stand up for somebody on Twitter and call out an idiot on Twitter, which I have many, many times, because, you know, I won't stand for that crap. Like, that's, like, I won't stand for that kind of thing. I don't care if it's somebody that I don't know, personally or whatever, or if it's like some wrestler or whatever, but I don't care. Like, there's still a person behind that profile or whatever, and you know, it's not cool to be like that, you know. Like me, I'm 100% me on social media. I think there's this whole idea where I remember this because I had this, it was a topic in my communications class that I took in college, which is probably the best class I've ever taken. And it was human communication, and it was talking about, like, technical terms, basically about building relationships, and the one thing that we stressed was online, just because of how prominent it is, and how, like, people like to create this online identity, as my teacher put it, as my professor put it. And, you know, people like to create these identities that people like to see, or that people want to see, rather than themselves, you know what I mean? You know, they like to characterize themselves a certain way online, and make themselves seem like a certain way when they're not like that. You know, which is why, like, me, like, I like to be 100% myself on my social media. Like, I've said some things that are awful. I will admit, we all have, but for the most part, I would say that I'm 100% me on all of my social media platforms. And yeah, and to me, like, that was like, you know, talking with Tony and everybody else in his stream that this morning and that night it was just really emotional for all of us, because, you know, we all at some point, we all have our like own story where we come from and stuff like that, and we've all had that one point where we feel like out of place, like we're trying to find our calling, or we are trying to find a group to find for ourselves to be a part of. Not necessarily to label ourselves, but you know, that sense of belonging. And I really think that that's what every human being desires, is to belong somewhere and to connect with other people. And I think Twitch is a good place for that. You know, it's like with me and wrestling. It's like, without wrestling, I don't know, honestly, where I would be today, honestly, as a human being. Because, like, people look at, like, you can look at video games and you can think about whatever you want about when it comes to video games. You can think of it as a pastime. You can think of it as a hobby, or whatever you want to think of it as. But there are those people out there that think of it as their escape, think of it as their medicine, their thing that keeps them going, whatever it is. And really, that is what wrestling is for me. It's like one of those things where I can, like, escape reality for a minute. And, you know, because wrestling's scripted. It's the characters. It's not necessarily the wrestling that entertains me. It's the acting part of it. It's the characters. It's the promos. It's the storylines. It's that part. You know, I could see a bunch of people do Hurricane Ranas and slam each other into the ground. Like, I could see that in IRL fights. Like, I could see that IRL fights, but you know, I really think that it's the building of the character, it's the dedication to the character, it's the being somebody else, creating an identity for yourself. And that's really what wrestling is. Like, you know, when I'm with these characters and with Brian Outlaw and the Outlaws and all these guys, it's like, yeah, Brian Outlaw is me, but he also isn't. You know what I mean? Like, there is huge similarities between me and this character in terms of, like, because basically, like I said, when I created the Outlaws, I based I don't know where I was going with this. Lost my train of thought, guys. I apologize. But with the Outlaws, it's sort of like, yeah, I base them on my own personal life, and you know, so I've used those personal elements because, like, to me, like, you gotta, when you create a character, like, you can't just entirely fake it. You have to make it personal to you in some way, shape, or form. Like, it can be entirely acting, for the sake of it being acting, you know what I mean? It can be that entirely. But at the same time, it's got to be one of those things where, you know, you gotta be like, okay, what's the part of myself that is the weirdest, or that is, you know, whatever you want to do, whether you're face or heel or whatever, you know, there's got to be, you got to have that personality. You got to have a character that is believable, because that's your whole thing when you're in wrestling. Like, especially like with people that's the problem with WWE, is that a lot of the wrestlers, they have no control over their characters. They have no creative control over their characters, so they can't make it seem real. You know what I mean? They can't make it seem like they're not reading off of a script, you know, and that's the key thing, is you got to make it real, you got to make it authentic, and so that's what I had to do. Granted, there are certain things, like if you check my Discord, which you can by entering the !Discord in chat. If you check my Discord, can see the tweets and all the other stuff that I make for this show, and some of the stuff that I say with Brian Outlaw I would never say in real life, but that's part of acting. It's part of being the character, and it's fun. I don't know why, but it's so fun. And that's what I love about wrestling, is the whole character creation and the whole acting part of it. Like me, I was never in drama plays. I was never in drama club or anything like that, because I always thought they were stupid. No offense to anybody that ever has done that, but me, I always thought it was dumb, because we did like Peter Pan, and well, we didn't do Peter Pan, but we did like, I remember we did plays and assemblies and stuff like that, and I commend everybody that's able to do that stuff, and all the rehearsals and everything that goes into that. Like, that's awesome, but that's not creating a character, that's playing one, with wrestling, you're creating one and playing one, so that's what I think is different, and that's what I like, is that you might be reading off of a script, but you have to have that personality. You make the character, it's not the other way around. And that's the issue that I think WWE has now, is that they're not giving wrestlers the opportunity to be their character, or to be the best character that they can be, which is why I love Impact and I love Rosemary, because she's able to script 95% of her lines and able to act as creepy as she wants to, and that's awesome. It's I think her and Matt Hardy are like the king and queens of kayfabe. Which is, kayfabe is another word for being in character. That's a wrestling term for being in character. It's for those of you that aren't familiar. And they're so good at what they do outside of their wrestling repertoire. They are so good at the acting part of it that I think that one time when I was hearing this one interview, with Rosemary, and it was just her talking normally, like a normal person. Like, what is this? This isn't Rosemary. This isn't, because she's always in character, even during like interviews and stuff like that. I remember watching this one interview, and she was in character 100%, like the whole time. And she goes out to places a lot of times with the face paint on. Like, she literally puts the face paint on and goes out like that in public. There's that certain dedication, and I've never seen as much dedication to her character as, like, in modern day wrestling as hers. Like, I think her being a woman of wrestling is, like, I could see that with a man. Like, I could see a man doing that and being creepy, but I think it's more interesting knowing that it's a woman doing it, whereas like the women of wrestling have always been known to have like the pretty faces and the look a certain way, and the stereotypical women's wrestler. And I think Rosemary is one of those women that is breaking down those stereotypes and those barriers of that. And I think it's awesome. I just think it's really cool, and I enjoy watching it all the time. I definitely enjoy watching it all the time. It's pretty cool. That's where how I learned to be Brian Outlaw is I learned by watching The Rock and Stone Cold. On the WWE Network, went back to the 90s and in the Attitude Era, and hearing those guys talk on the mic, that's where I learned how to do it. And I've watched wrestling for so many years now. It's been one of those things where it's like, okay, because I was a teenager, and that's what I found. Like me, I was never a part of a school club or anything like that, because I hated all of it. I thought it was stupid. There was nothing that really interested me too much. In college, obviously, it's different. Like with college, I was a part of my college radio club, and we actually have our own like radio station where people can actually tune in to our radio station in our county and all that, and it was cool and it was fun, but I had a really lousy partner, to say the least, and you know, I was just like, I can't do this, you know. I mean, I'll listen to the radio. Like, I love listening to some DJs and their interactions with each other, especially on the satellite radio, like the Sirius XM and stuff, because you can say whatever you want on there. You don't have to obey the FCC guidelines or whatever, which I think is cool. You know, so you can drop F-bombs if you want to, but that's alright. But you know, I was just like, I don't see myself doing this. Like, this is not what I want to do. You know, I honestly don't care really what they want me to do with like wrestling or anything like that. I just want to be a part of it. That's it. I don't care if it's me backstage writing stuff. Me, I like that part, the creative part of it. I don't care if it's me going on the mic and telling somebody, talking crap on the mic. That I would really want to do. Like as a manager, for the females, they sometimes call them valets for the females. But you know, I would love to just go out there and just talk crap and have somebody come out and try and like, you know, talk crap back to me. Like, I could always, a lot of people ask me, like, will Brian Outlaw ever be a face? Will he ever be a good guy? And the answer is probably not. Because me, I feel like I can act being a bad guy a lot better because I'm so used to watching bad guys on wrestling and seeing what they do. But I wouldn't mind trying out being a good guy. And actually, one of the wrestlers that I have that's going to be making a debut here on RCW soon is he's a face. He's a good guy. So for now, for now, I will say that for now. That doesn't mean he's going to turn heel. I'm not giving you anything away. I'm just saying that he's one of the guys that I could possibly introduce soon. Pentagon looks for the Pentagon driver here on Dash Wilder, and he connects with the Pentagon driver. But you know, just seeing the passion that these guys have for the business, you know, and getting a chance to meet some of the wrestlers on the indie scene, and it is fantastic. I think, you know, if you're just one of those casual wrestling fans, it's okay. You know, people like what they like. But I'm saying that if you ever get the chance to like go to one, so like if there's like a local wrestling event near you and that interests you, and you want to go to it, and it's like one of those small things, definitely go to it, because literally I've had some of the greatest time going to these indie wrestling shows. I would love to go to an Impact taping. That's one of the things that I want to do is go to one whenever they have one near me. I would love to go to an Impact taping because they do this thing there where you can like you can go backstage sometimes and you can meet the wrestlers and stuff. And I'd love to do that. Definitely, I know. Basically, because one of the wrestlers that I met is now on Impact, so you know it's great seeing him doing what he does on a brand that's actually known now. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but it's still still amazing. But yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, you know, it's. Oh, I don't even know what Dash Wilder tried to do there. Or Scott Dawson, I mean. Like, I don't even know what he tried to do, but whatever it was, it worked. This game, sometimes, I don't even know what happens half the time in these games, and it's ridiculous. Oh no. I thought he was gonna super kick me, which that's probably what he was going for there. I forget dash roll. I gotta study these guys more. Trust me, if my knowledge of wrestling was as big as my knowledge of math, I probably wouldn't have failed algebra. Probably wouldn't have failed algebra. Like if they had like a wrestling class where it was all about wrestling, like I would totally ace that. Ace it. What's his signature? Is his signature a kick? It's gotta be. Panama Sunrise. Oh. Hammerlock arm breaker. Oh, it's a... His is a submission? Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because I just got enough for a finisher again. So Pentagon Driver one more time. But I do miss the arcadey versions of WWE games like SmackDown vs. Raw and stuff. I do really miss those. What? Dash reversed it? Oh, come on. For real. But yeah, it's definitely been a journey doing this show for as long as I have, for a couple months now. It's been fun, and I appreciate everyone who's been a part of that. You know, it's something fun, you know. It's something fun. Especially with the Outlaws. I love how much you guys love the Outlaws, because in a way, like, since they're, ooh, I shouldn't have gone towards it. Since they're, you know, based on me, really, like, most of the Outlaws are based on me, so it's like another way. It's like, yeah, you love what I do, but you also like me as a person, so it's kind of cool. I just think it's kind of cool when you're able to create that sort of connection that way. Alright, Ray, help me out here. Thank you. I don't know why they made him shorten his name. It was just Phoenix. Now it's just Phoenix. No, it's not Ray Phoenix anymore. I love the Lucha Bros though, literally. They are absolutely amazing, I'll tell you that. And right to the face. What am I doing here? Oh, kick right to the back? Okay. Like, I know their movesets in real life, I just don't know what they would be in-game. Pentagon looking for a Pentagon Driver again. Pentagon Driver, let's go! I gotta get rid of... Oh, come on! Scott Dawson holding me back now. Get me out of here. Let me go. You meanie. And the Lucha Bros win. Well, that took quite a bit for them to win there, but eventually we got the win there. It was by the way, if you are not following the Real Fat Tony or Zinix or any of these other amazing people as part of Avenger Friends, please do not hesitate to give them a follow because they deserve it. They are awesome people. So they are fantabulous people. Oh God. No, I mean that. I'm breath. Zenix, literally, you just said every single thing that I... You just said my go-to line when it comes to... when it comes to flirting, man. You just said my, like, go-to line. No, you're breathtaking. Literally, that's me. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, but there's more to that, but I'm not gonna get into it. There's more than that, though. That's for sure. Miles Anderson, look at that title around his waist, the RCW World Champion. Now, like I said, we still have yet to make a match for him to defend his title, as part of RCW, all champions are required to defend their titles at one point or the other, including pay-per-views. So I often like to leave that to the wrestler's discretion, if they want to defend their title on a regular episode of RCW or not. But they are... they don't have to, but they are required to defend at a pay-per-view as part of their contracts. So, yeah. So, Miles, you're going to have to defend your title whether you like it or not. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. As he faces Adam Cole, baby. I love Adam Cole, I gotta say. Honestly, I'm jealous of him because right now he's dating Dr. Britt Baker, a wrestler for AEW, who's also a dentist, which is kind of funny. Now let's just think about it. Dentist and a wrestler. Cool. And I hate the dentist, but I love Dr. Britt Baker. Hate the dentist, love Dr. Britt Baker. But Adam Cole's a good dude, so... And I love Adam Cole. I love him as NXT champion, too. It's Miles Anderson and Adam Cole look to face each other in this 2 out of 3 falls match now. Adam Cole is very familiar with this match, as that is the match that he faced Johnny Gargano in at NXT TakeOver New York recently, in which Johnny retained his title. But then Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano were in another match where Adam Cole won. So that was a pretty good match. I definitely like that match. That was really good. Is Miles Anderson throwing Adam Cole to the outside now. Oh no. Oh, and Adam Cole just driving the fist into the face of Miles Anderson. Huge match here for Miles as the title of this stream, Falling Champion. Like, I'm starting to witness some hiccups for Miles Anderson as he's lost a couple matches. Maybe the champion is losing his touch and letting his cockiness get in the way of his wrestling. Hopefully not. But be interesting to see what happens in a hip toss to Adam Cole, but Adam Cole firing back. Remember, this is a 2 out of 3 falls matches. This is anyone's match here, anyone's ball game. But going up 1 fall early is very, very, very crucial for Adam Cole and Miles Anderson, the 2 men in this match. Ooh, but Adam Cole firing back with a hand of his own. Tree of Woe in the corner. As Miles Anderson lying upside down and a backstabber from that position there. And again, Miles Anderson using the rope as a rope break, but he has to kick out because the referee is not in good enough position to see the rope break, as we saw that happen in that exact same area in the first match of this show, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. But Adam Cole dragging Miles Anderson to the middle of the ring here. Very wise, and a knee right to the back of the neck. With Miles writhing in pain here. But I have to say that Miles Anderson possibly getting a little bit of payback as he looks for possession here on Adam Cole. Possession connecting here with Adam Cole into the cover. Referee in perfect position here. 1. No, Adam Cole kicking out at 1 very early. Adam Cole is not damaged enough in this matchup, but Adam Cole again firing back. Snapmare taking down Miles Anderson now. And now Miles Anderson is in a working hold here by Adam Cole. And you two might be wondering why I decided to get rid of the face cam. Well, I didn't get rid of it. It's still on my sources for OBS and stuff. But because a lot of the time, because I do the Iron Man matches and they have a time clock in the corner where I have the cam border, and that's the best corner I can have it in without blocking many of the different stuff. So I got rid of it because it seems like more immersive. I guess gives you more of that wrestling TV feel, and a standing shooting star here from Miles Anderson. I've rarely seen him hit that, but a 2 count. And now he's going for possession again, but no, Adam caught him. Now Adam Cole again firing back now. Adam Cole dropping Miles' head right on his knee. 1, 2, and no. Still no first fall yet in this match. As Miles Anderson is in huge trouble here. Oh no. Looking for last shot. Last shot on Miles. Very quick. 1, 2, 3, and Adam Cole gets the first fall. But Adam Cole still needs to get that second fall. Miles isn't out of the woods yet. And a shot right to the face of Adam Cole. Now looking for possession again. Here on Adam Cole, baby. And now going for the cover off of possession here again. And a kick out at 2 once more. Uh-oh. I think Miles is going for manifest. Something that we've seen him hit multiple times. Manifest on Adam Cole. 1, 2. No, Adam Cole kicked out again. Adam Cole refusing to go down. Just yet. Not just yet, says Adam Cole. Now trying to go after the arm of Adam Cole, possibly loosen him up for that armbar there, but unable to, in a swinging neck breaker, no. And a drop kick right to the back of Adam Cole, but he no-sells it. No-sell Adam Cole. Oh, now finally going after the arm of Adam Cole here. Trying to get it loosened up for that arm bar. Stomping away. And an arm drag to Adam Cole. Tried to grab Adam Cole here. Got him. A little bit of a hesitation there not realizing how far away he was. Got him with his Samoan drop, though. Looking for possession again here on Adam Cole. This could spell real bad for Adam Cole here. Possession here on Adam Cole. 1, 2, and no! Adam Cole still kicked out. Miles is... I am absolutely floored right now. I am wondering, how is Adam Cole kicking out of all of these manifests and possessions here? Adam Cole truly wants this, and this might punch his ticket for an RCW title opportunity in the future, as Miles still going after that arm, hammering away. Ooh, and a shot to the midsection now. Ooh, Adam Cole caught one of his feet, but not the other one. Ooh, and a jawbreaker by Adam Cole. Dropping Miles on his head again. 1. No! Miles kicked out. Miles is still alive. A little bit of a frustration pin here. And Miles again kicking out. Uh-oh, looking for last shot once more. Looking for last shot. Last shot. Miles. 1, 2, 3, and Adam Cole gets Miles. But what does this mean for a title opportunity for Adam Cole? And again, Miles finds himself in the loss column. And there's your winner, Adam Cole, baby. Boom! It's Adam Cole. And Miles again, once again, finding himself in the loss column. But what does this mean for Adam Cole going forward? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of RCW. And I apologize again for going on a tangent there for the last couple matches. But, you know, I just wanted to say that, you know, this community that I am a huge part of, you know, or at least I would consider myself a huge part of it, considering how long I've known Slev, and that's been quite a while now, and how long I've known Tony, and Zinix, and all of these freaking awesome people. They are cool. I mean, literally, like, you can be humble if you if you want, but literally, like, you know, I haven't been a part of something ever. I was never a part of groups or whatever. Like, I had a very small circle of friends, and that's okay. I was happy with that. I still do have a very small circle of friends. IRL anyway. And I'm 100% Gucci with that. I'm okay with it. But it's totally different when, not just from it being online, but going from a standpoint where nobody knows who you are, nobody knows your story, right? I think Valkyrie and I were talking about this the one time. And if you don't follow her, please follow her. She's a member of our Discord. She is a fantastic person, fantastic human being. And I was talking about this with Ice White. You may know him as well. He's freaking awesome. I love that guy. I love that dude so much. He just went full-time to streaming, dedicating his life to entertaining all of you amazing people, which is fantastic. I'm very happy for him that he's able to do something that he always dreamed of doing full-time. And when him and I were talking about it, he honestly didn't think that he was going to do that full-time. Like, it wasn't something that was ever on his mind. And honestly, I think, in my opinion, you ask any full-time streamer that, or any affiliated streamer that has been doing it for a long time, they'll tell you that they've never thought about doing it, like, as a full-time, everyday thing. I commend people that work and then stream for 5 to 6 hours. Because imagine this, like, you go to work, you work for X amount of hours, and then you stream for X amount of hours, and, and that's what I feel like a lot of people don't understand, is streaming takes just as much energy as whatever you're doing at work. Like, literally. Talking for an hour and 30 minutes and interacting, like, people don't think of that. And I'm not saying, like, that's a terrible thing, and I'm not complaining or anything like that. I'm just saying that it, like, takes so much energy to do that. It takes so much energy, and the willingness and the will to talk to people it just takes a lot of energy out of you. And there's some days where I don't feel like streaming just because I'm not feeling it or whatever. And, you guys respect that. I always try to stick by a schedule. And I know my schedule is kind of crazy because I'm home now. I'm not in college. I know I started earlier today at like 12, I think, or 1 or whatever. I know I started earlier today, but, expect that to happen every once in a while. I start earlier because, it's just easier for me, and it's probably easier for you guys too. I don't usually stream late at night because that's not my thing. Usually I'm out of energy at night. I have a lot of energy in the morning, and I prefer to do it when I have my most energy whatsoever. But I just thought, going on that tangent during some of the matches, it's well deserved because, these guys of Avenger Friends and these ladies of Avenger Friends as well, like, they're just fantastic people. And, it's not every day where you get to find communities like that. It's not every day, like, excluding online, you know what I mean? Like, take the online aspect away, like, there are communities out there that aren't online that you build. Like, this is definitely more than just online. I mean, like I said, Tony met Disease in real life. Tony met Slev in real life. Like, this is a IRL thing / online thing. Like, this is this is a big thing. Most and a lot of people that might be on the outside looking in and don't realize that, like my grandparents, for example, or specifically my grandmother, not to diss her because she's an amazing woman, but on people that are on the outside, like, when you tell people, oh, my buddy Zinix or my buddy Tony, and then somebody asks them, like, well, how do you know them? And I was like, well, I watch their live streams. And they're like, oh, another internet friend. And they say it like it's a bad thing, you know what I mean? And just a quick thing, like, when it comes to that sort of thing, like, don't let distance and the fact that they're an internet friend make you feel like it's any less real than somebody that's down the block from you or somebody that you went to school with. Because half of the people that I went to school with, most of them are in jail. Okay? Like, I'm not exaggerating that either. Most of them have gone down the wrong path, and they're not people that I want to hang out with. Whereas, Zinix, Slev, Tony, I've never, honestly, speaking of Tony, I've never met a guy that's nearly made me piss myself while watching some guy playing a video game. I've never, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, because literally that dude's freaking hilarious. My God. The things that he says I fuck on me, I don't fuck on you. Like, you know, like, for real, like, him just acting like an absolute idiot is just funny. And I mean that in an absolute nicest way. And, you know, him just being him is literally the greatest thing ever. And I love him for that. Like, absolutely love him for that. Like, that's freaking amazing. And, like, I'd like to thank all of you that have been here since day one, since the show started. And for those of you that are just joining and becoming a part of RCW and the Ravage Championship Wrestling universe, like, welcome, and I hope you stay here for the long haul, because this is kick-ass, this is amazing, and I hope you guys just enjoy your stay and love everything that you see here. And I hope that we can something ends up coming out of this that I didn't think that would, and that being the fact that I work for a IRL wrestling promotion. That is my ultimate dream. Not necessarily WWE, but just anything. You know, I should say when that happens, because it's going to happen, okay? And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that it does. When it does happen, I'll still remember, like, this. And just to let you guys know, like, when that does happen, this isn't going anywhere. This is still going to be what it is, you know. And I'll have you guys to thank for that, because, you know, just because you guys treat this like it's an actual wrestling show and you guys love this. So, I appreciate everything that you guys done for the channel, and I appreciate everyone over on at Avenger Friends and Tony and Zinix and Slev and Tracy and Peach and all of you amazing people. Like, that's just, I freaking love you guys, and I wouldn't know where I would be today without all of you. So, mentally and physically. So, thank you guys for everything you guys do, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. And, you know, you guys are just freaking amazing, and I can't wait to see where this whole thing goes, and I'm happy that you guys are just here along for the ride with me. Even if you're lurking, whatever it is that you are doing, it helps. I don't care what it is. It helps. Whatever you do for the channel, it helps. And I love every single one of you. So, with that being said, I'm going to hop off here, and I thank all of you for everything that you do, and I will catch you guys on the next stream.